Hey everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. I am here today to talk to you a little bit more about gun disarms here with my Shifu, Professor Master Lawrence Robinson of Attitude First Martial Arts Academy, and with us today is Master Ken as well.
New Bold Targets is now Throom. Throom targets are lightweight, weatherproof, take thousands of rounds of shooting and make shooting fun. Pick up a set for your next range trip.
So, you see them on the channel all the time, and the crazy part to me is that untrained people take guns away from people all the time. And I see this regularly on the channel, and people go, well, never try to take a gun away from somebody, except for we see it all the time, and you know, it's so funny. This is hard for me because this is, again, Master Lawrence Robinson, but for the longest time in most of my world, he's just my friend Lawrence. Professor, so one of the things that you've always taught me is that with gun disarms in particular is that simple is where we want to stay.
Oh yeah, keep it simple.
Why is that so important, do you think?
Because under stress and pressure, you're going to always resort back to what's most common to you. So you're going to go to gross motor skills and stuff. So you're going to want to use simple moves.
So I see a lot of this stuff, and I know a lot of martial artists, right? And I'm sure you've seen this too, Master Ken, that they really want to have something complicated, and it kind of feels like as we advance in the martial arts, we want to overcomplicate things so that we can show how cool our art is.
Exactly.
Instead of like, hey, let's just do it. So I'm going to start here, and we're going to step into this just so you can see it a little bit better, and use Professor Robinson here. And again, so we get this idea of one-handedness. And I see that pretty regular,
Sure.
is that they come up and whether they point it right at your chest or they even stick it in your face and they go, hey man, give me your wallet or whatever. So what do we see works all the time? The 5Ds plus 1 is what we see actually works all the time. But we didn't invent that on the mats, we saw it in real life. And so what are the 5Ds plus 1? You gotta start with distance. If I try and I sneak back here and I try to start this disarm from here, because a lot of the problems with martial arts stuff is they go, oh, okay, so the guy sticks his gun in my chest and then I do this thing, that thing, this other thing, the problem. And of course, see what he's doing? Is he's standing here the whole time letting me do it. But the reality is, if I do this and I go, here's this, and now he takes the gun back, and now we're in a fight because he gets a vote in it as well. So I gotta start close. I gotta start close. So that means if he's got here, or he sticks it right up because he wants me to look down the barrel and see that bullet there, and we see that all the time. We see bad guys hold it one-handed all the time. We see that all the time. And I will tell you this, if you see a bad guy that puts a good two-handed grip on a gun and stays away from you, guess what that means?
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, and you shouldn't try to take a gun away from him. Okay, so instead, again, all I'm gonna do here is the 5Ds plus 1. So I start at the right distance. Hey man, I don't want any problems for you. Then we deflect. I don't want this bullet. If he decides he's gonna press the trigger, first thing I gotta do is get that bullet out and away from me. Now we're gonna dominate. And with a gun, we wanna dominate the gun. With a knife, we don't wanna dominate the knife because it's sharp.
It's holding the knife.
Right, you wanna dominate what's holding it. So gun, hand with the gun, arm with the gun. If I forget this gun and I just go past it and deflect it and try to do all this stuff with me, he's gonna shoot me. So I can't do that. So again, deflect, then dominate. Now, okay, here's my only martial artsy thing, and you've taught me this, Professor, is if I wanna try to take this, here's the thing that I have to do. So if you turn around the other side real quick, here's the space. Here's where I can take the gun out, right? But if I may have it, this is the longest part here, the widest part, this is the thinnest part. So in order to get this gun out of the space, I have to turn. Okay, so how am I going to do that? If I turn around this way, okay, how am I going to do that? Well, I have to somehow turn this way and then pull it out that way. Well, he's not gonna just let me do that. If I grab a hold of that and do this, he goes with me. So I have to stop this hand, right? So the only disarm that's a kind of martial artsy woo that I actually even ever think about is simply, again, I'm gonna use my left hand, grab a hold here, just have a barrier here. All I'm doing is a barrier, putting that barrier in its place. I'm not really even trying to strike here or anything like that. I'm just putting up a barrier to push that out that way. That's all I do. Because then he can't, because again, if I just go that way, his hand goes with it that way, it doesn't work. But if I put up a barrier, it goes, then there's a barrier. Now I gotta do it fast, because otherwise it doesn't fly. Otherwise, if I'm this way, Professor, you had, if I'm not gonna go that route. So he goes that way, but you see now, we're fighting over the gun.
Right.
Now I can't shoot you with it. Ow, yeah, see? Now he grabs it and it hurts like the dickens. So what he's doing there is he's trying to actually pry it this way out of my hand. Deflect, dominate. What was the distractor? You saw the distract, the pain in my hand, right? Then he disarmed me. Now he disabled. Now he's got the gun and he can do what he wants, right? So simple, fast, and full throttle. How do I work on this on the mats? Well, I think first of all, in a grappling environment, what we're gonna see here is if I start here, or if I don't start here, and I go, okay, now I got a hold of it, now he can grapple with me, and he can, okay, now we're fighting over the gun at least. And now, yeah, okay, he's really good at fighting, and that's a problem. But at least we have that there. So here's the biggest thing I want you to get out of this. Practice those 5 Ds, is start this. So if I start here, and if you back up just a half a step, and gun is up, and I go, okay, can I start it here and get it in such a way that that I'm gonna be able to do it? So let's just pull this, can I get this here and go, okay, I can get it. When I go for it though, I want you to not let me take it. Oh, let's see, okay. Back on the screen, you saw that was far enough that as soon as I went to go take it, it was too far. You had control. So if I instead here, now I'm in control. See how I've got the short arms? And now I'm in a pretty good spot. So getting close, that's our big one. And then simple, fast, and full throttle.
There are absolutely things you can do in a gun attack that are simple, but the world isn't simple. Self-defense isn't simple. Firearms aren't simple, right? I would like a gun that just operates simply. There's springs and there's chemical reactions and things happening in this weapon. It's a complicated weapon with a simple output, okay? That's why I think of myself. I'm a complicated weapon with a simple output, okay? When we think about how to defend ourselves, I can't just walk into a math class and say, I would like algebra to be simple, please. I need to learn algebra, okay? So when we're talking about complex self-defense, let's say that someone is actually pointing this weapon at me. First thing I want to actually do is provide multiple targets, okay? I want there to be so many targets to choose from that he can't decide. Right now I'm just providing one, okay, right here, okay? But I want him to think about, well, what if I shot him here? What if I shot him here? If I shot him here? So I want to present him with all kinds of targets. So I'm going to start moving like this, see? Look at all these targets. Now he's thinking, well, where do I shoot this guy? Look at this. There's so many different ways to shoot this person, okay? Now, if I reach out and try to contain the gun, he's right, he will back up, okay? So, in order to stop that, very simple. Reaching up, grab that trigger guard, okay? See? Where's he gonna go? Now I've got that weapon. He's not going anywhere.
But Master Ken, if then he pushes, then that presses the trigger and shoots you.
Right, well, you're not just going to stand here and do that. This is just this is a split-second move. You only do this, you do this for a second or less, okay? So, step 1, oh man, look at all these targets. Step 2, tug, okay? And then step 3, we want to go to the computer, okay? The computer tells the arm to tense the finger to pull the trigger to fire the bullet. So we have to go right to the computer and do whatever we can to disable the computer. What I would recommend, taking a finger, okay? This strong trigger finger that we've worked out, okay? And stick it in the ear, okay? All the way in the ear, just sticking and then just twisting until you can touch the brain, okay? Just sort of, it's a little brain tickle, okay? Just twisting it in, twisting it in, twisting it in, twisting it in. If you can get it there far enough, you can disable his brain completely. He lets go of the gun, and now we have it to use against him.
So now you have a discussion here, and you can choose for yourself. Do you want a simple, fast, and full throttle like Master Robinson teaches, or the brain tickle from Master Ken? You decide.